North Carolina is one of the fastest growing states in the US, and for great reason. Not only do we have great weather, great economy, and honestly, some of the coolest spots even for day trips, you may have a hard time choosing where you want to pick in North Carolina to make the move. Well, in this video, I'm going to be highlighting the top 5 towns that are predicted to be the most popular to move to in North Carolina in 2025. And be sure to stick around to the very end because I'm going to be talking about a few key features of our #1 city that you may not already know. Let's dive in. So number 5 on the list is Elizabeth City. Elizabeth City is absolutely gorgeous. Located to the northeast of North Carolina off the Pasquotank River on the Virginia border lies Elizabeth City. Now this is considered a coastal city, and while you might be wondering, well, why not Wilmington? Elizabeth City is an up-and-coming town. Now, I say up-and-coming as in the population has been growing over the last few years, partially with its proximity to Virginia and that area such as Norfolk, but also to the proximity of the Outer Banks. One thing that you will find is many of the people that are living in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, are actually working in Virginia, usually in Norfolk. Median home values in the area are around the 166 range, but of course can be higher than that. But as the town is growing and the population is growing over the last few years, that price has been going up. The most recent census in 2024 shows that there's about 19 to 20,000 individuals living in the town of Elizabeth City. Now, while that is expected to go up, there's a lot of other reasons for that, such as the expansion of the economy within the town itself. The expansion of manufacturing, healthcare, and education in the area are part of the reasons for not only the increased population, but also the increase in median income. Now, the city itself, as I mentioned, is known as a waterfront location just near the coast, although you'd have to go north and skirt around to go to the Outer Banks. But there's plenty to see in the historic districts, and it's actually a hub for the US Coast Guard. So if you're looking for something a little bit more coastal, but not quite right on the ocean or in the Outer Banks, this may be the perfect city for you. Number 4 on our list is Apex, North Carolina. Now, Apex is located just outside of Raleigh. Raleigh is the capital of North Carolina, also a very popular city that we may be getting to in a moment. But Apex in and of itself has grown its own name. Now, in previous years, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, Cary, the sister city to Apex, was actually known as the place for relocated Yankees. That's right, it was very popular, but Apex has now taken over as one of the more popular towns around Raleigh. Why is that? With a population of around 73,000 people, Apex has the proximity for easy travel to Raleigh, out to Durham, and into Chapel Hill, which makes it a perfect location if you're working in the Research Triangle. Median household income in the area is about $138,000, with home price medians around $514,000. No, it is not the least expensive place to live in the region. However, because of the amenities of shopping, dining, easy access to any area of work that you could possibly want, Apex has been growing rapidly. In addition to that, the schools have phenomenal ratings, bringing more and more families into the area. Now, as you can guess, being close to the Research Triangle would lead to these particular industries, including healthcare, technology, and education. So if you're looking for a town that isn't a major city and still has that town feel where you can actually go down and pop into the little shops, Apex may be the perfect spot for you. I'm Kayla Lindsay with Living in Charlotte, North Carolina. If you've been thinking about moving to Charlotte or the surrounding suburbs, go ahead and subscribe below so you can be the first to learn about the current market here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I love helping people just like you who are looking to move to Charlotte, North Carolina or relocate to another area town. So whether it's 9 days or 90 days from now, feel free to give me a text, a call, an email, or even set up a Zoom meeting. All of my contact information is in the description below. I'd be happy to make your move everything you want it to be. Number 3 on our list, Asheville, North Carolina. Sitting in a beautiful little valley 4,000 feet in the air into the Smoky Mountains is a beautiful town called Asheville, North Carolina. Now, Asheville has a population of around 100,000 people. This population has varied, ebbed, and flowed, but we are still seeing a pretty significant increase in population, not only in Asheville proper, but in the surrounding cities, such as Fletcher, Arden, North Asheville, West Asheville, even out into Clayton, Swannanoa, and Black Mountain. Now, Asheville is a very unique place where your median household income is actually far lesser than you would expect, especially for the median price of homes. Median household income from the Census Bureau shows about $48,000 per household. Now, this varies, and this is for a lot of reasons. Asheville as a city has a variety of different people that live there. A lot of retirees, a lot of folks that are younger, but a large focus on real estate, a lot of attorneys, and healthcare professionals. So if you're in those industries, it is certainly bustling. This is where we have these stark differences in the median incomes in the area. In addition to that, it depends upon what pocket and area you're in. If you're in Asheville proper or in that vicinity, the home prices and median incomes are going to be far higher. But let's look at this from broad strokes. Census data shows $48,000 for household income among all of the areas in Asheville. And the median house price is around $350,000. Now, granted, this again varies depending upon where you are, and the further outside of Asheville you get, the better the pricing is. Now, Asheville's economy is mostly driven by tourism, and although it was hit with Hurricane Helene a few months ago, we are still expecting to see massive growth in the Asheville area, and it's still being in the top 3 most desirable places to move to in 2025. As I mentioned, other industries include healthcare and manufacturing, but it's most famous from its food, brewery, and art scene in the Asheville area, as well as the historic downtown, which features really beautiful architecture and places that you can pop into all day long and never get bored of what you see. Because it's in the Great Smoky Mountains, you have some phenomenal day trips. People love to go hiking, biking, anything outdoors is available, as well as you could pop into the Biltmore Estate if you'd like to class things up a little bit. So all in all, Asheville sits at number 3 of the most popular places to move in North Carolina in 2025. Number 2 on the list, our capital city, Raleigh, North Carolina. Now, I pointed towards Raleigh a little bit earlier in this video when speaking about apex. And yes, these 2 towns are extremely popular for people moving into the area. Now, Raleigh has a population of around 475,000 people. Now, that all depends upon what you incorporate into the Raleigh area, but if we're looking at the city of Raleigh itself with a Raleigh address, you're looking at 475,000 people. Now, Raleigh sits smack dab in the middle of the state, where you're about 3.5 hours from Asheville, about 2 hours from Wilmington, which is all the way out on the East Coast, on the coast, and you sit also only 2 hours from Charlotte. This makes it a very easy area to live in and either commute to other cities nearby or take really easy daycations or weekend vacations within the state. Median household income in Raleigh is about $80,000. Now, just like Asheville, it depends upon the area that you're looking at. These incomes might vary quite a lot. Now, just like with household income, the median home value also varies depending upon the area. As we can find on the census data, the median home value in Raleigh is about $400,000. Raleigh, as like many of the other areas in North Carolina, have seen massive increases in home value, especially coming through the 2020s and 2021 when interest rates were in the 2s. Now, we don't expect to ever see that again, although that could be pretty nice for some refinancing. But that being said, we are still seeing an increase in values in the area, and demand is still high, which is driving that. Now, Raleigh is a part of the Research Triangle, and as I mentioned with Apex, its proximity to both Durham and Chapel Hill make it an ideal place to live and work if you're going to be in the area. Key industries include biotech, technology, as well as education, to name a few. And with over 8 universities, both private and public, within about a 20-mile radius, you are going to find an abundance of young professionals in the area, also plenty looking for internships. All in all, Raleigh has a vibrant cultural scene and is known for a high quality of life, which is why there's so many Northerners moving to the area. Now, don't let that scare you. There is an abundance of Carolinians, people from the South, the West, and the North that all come together into the Raleigh area. Now, number 1 on the list is, of course, Charlotte, North Carolina. No, I did not plan it this way. I did a ton of research on this, but Charlotte really is the top city for people to move to in 2025 in North Carolina. Here are some of the comparisons of why though. The population of Charlotte is over 900,000 individuals, and that is in the city itself, usually within that belt line is what we're looking at. But with the surrounding towns included, it is upwards of 2.5 million. Now, why do I point that out? Because there is so much space for people to expand. I think that's one of the most beautiful parts about Charlotte is as we are bringing people in, there's places for them to go. And there's a lot of new construction offering options, opportunities, and a variety of prices to meet everyone's needs. Sitting to the southwest of North Carolina, Charlotte is just 2 hours from Asheville, 2 hours to Raleigh, and 3.5 to the coast. In addition to that, we're a border city, and we also encompass South Carolina. Now, while the city of Charlotte isn't physically in South Carolina, there's a reason it's called the Carolina Panthers and Carolina Hurricanes when it comes to sports teams, because South and North Carolina have a tendency to share, which is a good thing. Now, Charlotte's median household income is about $78,000. That will vary depending upon where you are in Charlotte, whether it be in the South Park area where you've got a much higher income, or perhaps in some of the smaller towns surrounding Charlotte or to the north or east of Charlotte. All of this is a variety, but if we're looking at a median, we're looking at $78,000. Now, where is a lot of this influx of people coming from? Well, part of it is quality of life, and people are seeking Charlotte out, perhaps just like you, looking for a better place to live, as well as someplace where your cost of living is a lot lower than other areas of the country compared to what you're getting in return. But Charlotte is the second largest financial hub in the United States. This is behind New York, which comes in at number 1 when it comes to the financial capital in the US. That being said, there are a lot of banks that have their corporate headquarters here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, with this being a financial hub, it's also leading to other industries expanding and exploding in our area, leading to better jobs, higher economy, better homes, better atmosphere, better cost of living, you name it, it's a trickle-down effect. Now, with that, we've also seen an increase in home prices as the population has increased. Our median home value is around $420,000, again, depending upon where you're looking. The interesting part is not too far outside of Charlotte proper, you can find homes between the $300,000 and $400,000 range. Actually, inside of Charlotte, you can find that as well. You can also find homes in the $4 million, $8 million, $10 million range, all within Charlotte. So it's truly a city that has opportunity for all. Charlotte boasts an enormous and diverse economy with a variety of different industries in the area. Some of its more prominent industries include finance, the tech sector, energy, as well as motorsports, with the Race City, USA town of Mooresville sitting just to our north. Another one of the great aspects about Charlotte is proximity to interstates and ability to travel. With the Charlotte Douglas International Airport, as well as our regional airport in Concord available, and 3 major interstates, with 485 circling Charlotte, the entirety of Charlotte, as well as 77 cutting north to south and south to north, and 85 cutting through the top of Charlotte, going to an east-west trajectory. You have a variety of means to head anywhere you want to go. Exceptional education, proximity to South Carolina, and lifestyle, you name it, you've got it. Charlotte is number 1 when it comes to the most popular city to move to in 2025 here in North Carolina. So hopefully that answered a lot of your questions, maybe it even created more. If you've got more questions, drop them in the comments below. Maybe Charlotte is the place for you, but maybe it's not. But if it is, I would love to help you. I get calls, texts, emails, Zoom invites literally every single day from people just like you looking to relocate to the area. So if that's you, whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, whether you're coming across the country, across the world, or just across town, I'm here to make your move exactly what you want it to be. All my contact information is in the description below. Be sure to reach out. I personally answer all of your messages. And until next time, I do look forward to showing you around town.